wasn't just a wedding, it was the event of the season. When Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez tied the knot in Venice, it wasn't your average luxury wedding. It was a full-blown spectacle. Think private islands, candlelit cathedrals, and a guest list packed with some of the world's most powerful and glamorous names. The buzz started the moment celebrities began arriving. A convoy of boats floating through Venetian canals, cameras flashing, fans screaming. And then came the fashion. From red carpet-ready gowns to bold experimental statements, everyone was dressed to be remembered. But no one, absolutely no one, turned more heads than Kylie Jenner. Even in a sea of glitz, feathers, diamonds, and couture, she somehow became the most talked-about guest. Not because of who she was with, but because of what she wore. But what was so controversial about her look? Well, it all starts with one simple rule. If there's one unspoken rule that nearly every wedding guest knows, it's this: never wear white, unless you're the bride. It's not a suggestion, it's sacred. So when Kylie Jenner stepped out in a dress that looked suspiciously like bridal white, or at the very least shimmering silver under the light, jaws dropped instantly. Was it a mistake, a fashion faux pas, or something more intentional? Social media lit up with comments. Did she seriously wear that to someone else's wedding? One user wrote. Others debated whether it was white at all, or just a trick of the lighting. But the message was clear. Kylie's dress was stealing the spotlight, and no one could ignore it. And that's not even the whole story. The color wasn't the only reason people were talking. Kylie didn't just flirt with the color white. She brought full-on heat to the altar. Her dress featured a plunging neckline, strategic cutouts under the bust, and sheer lace cascading down the front. To some, it screamed red carpet after party, not celebratory vows by the canal. The overall vibe? Bold, sultry, and undeniably attention-grabbing. And while Lauren Sanchez is no stranger to daring fashion herself, often seen in plunging necklines and curve-hugging silhouettes, this was still her big day. Yet, Kylie's look had everyone talking more about her than the bride. Some fans defended her, calling it high fashion and saying she looked stunning, but others weren't buying it. There's a difference between fashionable and disrespectful, one post read, and this crossed that line. But Kylie wasn't the only one drawing eyes for all the wrong reasons. If Kylie's dress caused a stir, her sisters made sure the headlines didn't stop there. Kim Kardashian stepped out in a skin-tight, shimmering dark gown that looked like it was painted onto her body. A classic Kim move that oozed confidence but had people questioning, was this a wedding or a fashion competition? Khloe, on the other hand, went full flamingo fantasy. Literally. She wore a hot pink, body-hugging gown, complete with an over-the-top feathered cape. Social media lit up instantly. Is this a Met Gala? One comment joked. Did someone forget to tell them it was a wedding? Even fans of the family couldn't agree. Some loved the boldness, praising the sisters for bringing Hollywood glam to Venice. Others called it tone-deaf, saying it felt more like a red carpet stunt than support for a close friend's big day. But the bride, Lauren Sanchez, she was almost lost in the noise. In a twist no one saw coming, Lauren Sanchez, the bride herself, was overshadowed at her own wedding. You'd expect her to steal the show in a jaw-dropping couture moment, right? Instead, she walked down the aisle in a snow-white Dolce & Gabbana gown with a long lace train. Classic, elegant, and shockingly forgettable. For someone known for ultra-revealing, head-turning outfits, the choice was so understated that people barely noticed her. Critics online didn't hold back. She looked fine, but that's the problem. Just fine, one user posted. Others said she was outshined by her guests, especially Kylie, whose lacy, sultry look stole all the attention. But the chatter didn't stop at the dress. Speculation swirled that Sanchez may have gone overboard with cosmetic enhancements leading up to the wedding. Some called her appearance eerily airbrushed, and said it clashed with the vintage Jackie Kennedy aesthetic she seemed to be aiming for in the days before the ceremony. It was a classic case of the bride disappearing behind the spectacle, and with every camera flashing toward the guests, it was clear. This wedding was no longer about the vows. It was about the views. As photos from the Bezos-Sanchez wedding exploded across social media, one thing became clear. Kylie Jenner was trending more than the bride. Instagram, X, TikTok, all were flooded with comments, clips, and hot takes dissecting what Kylie wore, why she wore it, and if she crossed a major line. The top comment on one viral TikTok read, "She really wore that to someone else's wedding? Kylie does not care." Another echoed the sentiment, "When the guest tries to outshine the bride, mission accomplished." But it didn't end there. Users began breaking down the dress piece by piece, from the dangerously low neckline to the sheer lace body that left very little to the imagination. The term wedding sabotage even popped up in a few threads, with fans debating whether Kylie had intentionally stolen the spotlight. Meanwhile, memes took over. One particularly viral image showed Lauren Sanchez's modest wedding gown side by side with Kylie's barely there ensemble, captioned, "Find the bride, we'll wait." It was classic internet chaos, and it fed into a growing narrative that this wedding was less about romance and more about runway-level drama. But even amid the backlash, Kylie remained silent, letting the internet do what it does best, speculate. Now here's the real question. Was Kylie Jenner's dress just a bold fashion choice, or something more calculated? Let's be honest, Kylie knows how media works. She grew up in the spotlight. Every move she makes is dissected, magnified, and turned into headlines. So wearing a sheer, bridal-adjacent dress to the wedding of one of the richest couples on Earth? That wasn't an accident. Some insiders suggest it was all part of a strategy. One PR analyst even claimed, Kylie's team likely knew the press coverage would focus on her look. Controversy equals attention, and attention is currency. And it worked. While Lauren Sanchez married a billionaire, Kylie dominated the media cycle. Fashion blogs, gossip sites, celebrity commentators, they all zeroed in on her. Not Lauren, not Jeff, just Kylie. In fact, Google Trends showed a huge spike in Kylie searches in the 48 hours after the wedding, way higher than anything tied to Sanchez. So was it disrespectful? Maybe. Was it intentional? Probably. Did it work? Without a doubt. But that leads to one last twist you might not expect. While Kylie Jenner might have stolen the spotlight, not everyone was applauding. Behind the glamorous photos and viral headlines, there was a wave of quiet backlash brewing online, and even, reportedly, among guests. Some guests felt the dress crossed a line, that it upstaged the bride on her big day. One anonymous insider reportedly told a fashion outlet, everyone was whispering about Kylie's dress. It felt like she knew exactly what she was doing. And some people weren't impressed. Even fans started debating online. Some praised her confidence, while others slammed the outfit as tone-deaf and attention-seeking, especially considering the elegance Lauren Sanchez tried to channel with her classic Dolce & Gabbana gown. But here's the kicker. The bride herself hasn't commented. Not a word from Lauren or Jeff. Nothing public, nothing private leaked. And in the world of celebrity optics, silence can speak volumes. So what really happened behind the scenes? Did Kylie cross a line, or just rewrite the rules? Whatever your take, one thing's certain. When billionaires wed and A-listers show up in almost white lace, the world watches and whispers.